The unusual circumstances surrounding the Dyatlov Pass incident have captured people's attention for many years. In this puzzling episode, a group of expert hikers died tragically in the Russian Ural Mountains in 1959. Numerous opinions and suppositions have been sparked by the unclarity regarding the circumstances of their deaths. The Dyatlov Pass incident continues to confound experts and amateur sleuths alike, from mysterious injuries to strange conduct. Welcome to my channel, Historical Studies. Before diving into the mysteries of history, there is a small reminder. If you are really interested in this kind of information, do not hesitate to subscribe to my channel and hit on the bell icon if you don't want to miss out on our new videos. The enigma surrounding the 9 dead hikers from Russia. 1959's Dyatlov Pass incident. The Russian city of Ekaterinburg is on the Iset River and close to the Ural Mountains. 9 members of the Ural Polytechnical Institute, who all perished in strange circumstances while hitchhiking in the North Ural mountain range, are all buried in a collective grave in the nearby cemetery that dates to 1959. 1959 may have been the Cold War's peak, a period of tension and distrust, but it was additionally a proud period to be a Soviet citizen because, or so the Soviet press would have made you believe, the People's Revolution was accomplishing so many great and magnificent things. Luna 1 had just been launched, making history as the first artificial object to pass past the moon, and the third Soviet Antarctic mission had recently come to a successful conclusion. 8 men and 2 women set out on a hitchhiking adventure with a group of 10 people in front of them, against this motivating backdrop of advancement and success. They were all very skilled hikers and skiers, and their ultimate goal was to get their Grade 3 hiker certificate, which was at that point the highest honor of this kind in the Soviet Union. The objective was to go to a Torton mountain, and the route they chose to do so was rated as the most challenging one. As a result, it would be a significant task for them all. On January 27, 1959, the group left the village of Vizhai. According to all accounts, the group's journey got off to a good start, but the following day, one of the travelers began to experience knee and joint problems and had to turn around. 9 persons remained in the group, and they resumed their trip. None of them were ever seen alive anymore after this. However, by February 20th, relatives and close friends were starting to worry. As a result, the institute set up its own search groups made up of volunteer teachers and students. A few days later, with the help of snowmobiles, planes, and helicopters, the army and local police stepped in. On the slopes of Kholat Syakhl, the group encampment wasn't discovered until February 26. This indicated in the regional language, Dead Mountain, that very little fauna was ever discovered there. The Dead Mountain. But what the searchers discovered was truly odd. The group's tent had collapsed and was thickly dusted with snow. It had been torn apart from the inside, and based on the nearby trails, it appeared that the party had hurriedly descended the hills, worried only about the sleeping bag they had been using. 3 bodies from the lost group, including their leader, who appeared to have tried to return to the camp, were discovered by the searchers along the road. Over a 1,100-foot section of the slope, the 3 bodies were discovered independently. The searchers discovered 2 more dead at the actual tree line, each only wearing a few clothes and standing next to the charred remains of a tiny fire. Even though they had made valiant attempts to stay warm, their hands and feet were burned. One of them may have attempted to climb up a nearby tree to acquire a better vantage position because all of its branches, which extended to a height of 18 feet, were broken off. All 5 of the victims were determined by an autopsy to have died of hypothermia. In this situation, your body loses more heat than it can produce or retain, causing you to freeze to death. It took until May 4th to locate the expedition's final 4 bodies. Within 250 feet of where the others had started the tiny fire in the woodland, they were discovered. Under 13 feet of snow and a little ravine, their remains were found. Compared to the others in the group, their deaths were caused by a distinct factor. They did not appear to pass away simultaneously, to start with. Unnatural high-pressure impacts, which could not have been created by a human being, resulted in lethal fractured bone injuries for 3 of the group members. The woman in this group was missing her eyes, tongue, and half of her lips, which has drawn a lot of attention. But since she was discovered face down in some running water beneath the snow, it was assumed that this was all a natural part of the decomposition process. The official inquest simply came to the conclusion that the hikers were killed by compelling natural forces, primarily because it was much below freezing at the time. There have been numerous proposed explanations for this peculiar episode, many of which assume certain elements and are supported by the official investigating team. Did members of the nearby Mansi tribe attack them? The Mansi were not hostile or territorial people, even though they lived on Mansi territory, and the Kalatsiaki mountain had no special religious meaning or importance to the Mansi tribe. The target of a robbery? Since nothing of value seems to have gone missing away from the campsite, it appears extremely unlikely. They had been attacked by an animal or pack of animals. There were no signs of an animal attack on the hikers, and no animal traces were seen in the vicinity. They were forced to escape because of an avalanche, right? At first glance, the thick snowfall atop the collapsed tent seems to support the avalanche notion as a solution. The tent was torn apart from the inside, and everyone appeared to have hurried down the hill in an apparent state of panic. The avalanche theory may be ruled out even though the cutting of the tent from the inside cannot be convincingly explained. Many unresolved questions remain regarding the occurrence, which has since turned into an inexplicable mystery. So, why do you think the hikers behaved that way? Your hypotheses would be of interest to us. That brings us to the end of this video. Thanks for being to the end of the video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and tell us what you think about this video below in the comment section. Let's meet again with a more mysterious video.